If you have been playing GD for a while, you know that there are quite a lot of choices that you can have for your icons. There are a ton of options, but hold on. What is the total number of combinations for your GD icons? Hello, CountSacke here, back with another GD Dynamics video. In this episode, we'll be figuring out all the possible combinations of icons that you can have for your player. Now before we get things going, I should mention that this episode does not require any background from any other episodes, so if this is your first video, no need to watch other episodes. I would also like to mention that the current version of GD that I'll be using is 2.1, and I will come to update this in the future. This episode requires knowledge on how Combinatorics works. In the case of how you can choose icons and colors, it works like this. You have a bag of cards with a single number from 1 to 10 written on them. If you were to take one out of one card, there will be a total of 10 different cards that you can have. Now take another bag with 5 different colored cards in them. Let's associate one number card to one color card. So you can take one card from the number bag and one from the color bag. And when you say "and," there will be multiplication between two events. So what is the total number of combinations that you can have in this case? Well, for one number card, there can be 5 different colors. But since we have 10 different number cards, we can say that the total combination of colors is 5 times 10, or 50. Using Combinatorics, the mathematical expression for this would be the combination of a taken b at a time is equal to a factorial divided by b factorial multiplied by the quantity a minus b factorial. In our example, it would be the combination of 10 taken one at a time multiplied by the combination of 5 taken one at a time. And as you can see, this all turns out to be 5 times 10, which is equal to 50. Alright, I hope that you get the idea of how the combinations in choosing GD icons works, because we're gonna start counting. So, to start things off, let's count some colors. So, we have 2 sets of colors, one for the main body and one for the sub-body. I just decided to call it that. There are actually just 3 pages of 12 colors for both. But on the last page, there's only 6 colors. So, for one set of colors, there's 42. Since we have 2 different sets of colors with the same amount of each, so the equation right now is the combination of 42 taken one at a time multiplied by the combination of 42 taken one at a time. However, I should note something about this to simplify things right now before we touch upon any more combinations. When taking the combination of a number, let's say a, taking one at a time, the value of that combination will be just a. So therefore, the combination of a taken one at a time is equal to a. So in our case, we can literally just always simplify things in this case, since we can't have more than one color in a set in GD. Alright, so let's get back to the numbers. We have 42 times 42, which is equal to 1,764. So right now we've only touched the colors that you can select, and you have about 1,764 different combinations already, which to be honest isn't that much. So we currently have a measly 1,764 options right now, and I'll be honest, we're just going to go for some of the other parts before touching the game modes. Simply put, anything else related to customization to the character that you can have that is not mentioned in this video. I'll just be listing down the other options in the form of a table because, yeah, much more simple to do, more organized, and less time taken. Okay, now, let's multiply. 1,764 multiplied by 7 multiplied by 17 multiplied by 2 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 equals 6,717,312. Okay. Still a bit small, but it's more respectable. But we're not done. We still have to tackle the stars of GD. There are a total of 7 different game modes. The cube, square, ship, ball, UFO, wave, robot, and spider. Each of these game modes have their own different amount of icons to choose from, so we need to count them per mode. Honestly, to save time, and get to some numbers, I'll just put up this chart. Alright, now that you've got a look at that, let's calculate the total number of combinations. 6,717,312 multiplied by 142 multiplied by 51 multiplied by 43 multiplied by 35 multiplied by 35 multiplied by 26 multiplied by 17 is equal to 1.13 times 10 raised to the 18th power. To be more precise, there are a total of 1 quintillion, 132 quadrillions, 611 trillion, 207 billion, 90 million, 854,400 different combinations of icons that you can have for your player icons. Let's take this number into some perspective. Imagine this was in seconds. How long would this be? Well, doing some conversion math as shown back here, by converting seconds to hours, then hours to days, then days to years, we find out that this would be... 3.59 times 10 raised to the 10 years. 3.59 times 10 raised to the 10 years, that's still quite hard to visualize. Here. The current age of the universe is said to be about 13.8 billion years. That sounds like a long time, but take this. The number that we calculated in seconds is longer than that. In fact, it's about 2.6 times longer. It's also quite hard to put your head around, but I think it's an interesting way to think about it. What? Still want a better understanding of how big this number is? Fine, one more. The Earth currently has a population of about 7.53 billion people. If every single person made an account with a random set of icons and no combinations repeated every second, it would take about 4.77 years to make every single GD account dedicated to its own set of unique icons. Hope that makes sense. So, yeah. This is a question that we might have asked ourselves in the back of our minds, and I'm glad that we finally managed to calculate this number. 1 quintillion, 132 quadrillions, 611 trillion, 207 billion, 9 million, 854,400. Don't put a decimal before the 400, which is the total number of ways you can customize your character in GD. That's really about it for now, so thanks for watching and hope you enjoyed.